Hey guys, it is video number 2 of the night, and as I said, this one is going to be about some Louis Vuitton items that I was fortunate enough to pick up this weekend, somewhat unexpectedly. I have a consignment shop that I like to frequent, and I've mentioned it before. It's called Philomena's Upscale Consignment. It's in Voorhees, New Jersey, which is about 15 or 20 minutes away from my house. It's pretty close, much closer than a brand new Louis Vuitton store, which is about 45 minutes for me. And I know that there's others in my area that I haven't really branched out and checked out yet, but Philomena's and the owner Ray, they have a very large array of different vintage styles. I think probably because of the area that the store's in. It's in Voorhees, New Jersey, and in Voorhees and the neighboring Cherry Hill and sort of some of the surrounding areas are very affluent areas. So there are people who do have bags that they don't know what to do with, and where better than to try to sell it for a couple extra bucks and go buy yourself something brand new. So in going, I follow Philomena's on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, and one of the things Ray, the owner, does is anytime somebody buys a bag, they take a picture of the new owner looking all spiffy, standing in front of like a wall of Louis Vuitton. So I always get to see, you know, what somebody else picked up, but then look at the wall of Louis Vuitton and say, ooh, what do I see back there? And what I've noticed lately is that he has had a ton of Speedies, which is no surprise because if you follow the pre-loved market, there's always a ton of Speedies. Speedies and Neverfulls tend to be their most popular style, so of course there's going to be a ton of those styles out there for sale. So he had an overabundance of Speedies, and he was having a 10% off sale. So I had some things I've been wanting to either list on Poshmark or try to trade, because he has worked up some trades with me before. So my husband and I decided to go over there, check it out, and see what was what. So I did purchase 2 things. One thing is for the intention of me to keep. The other thing, I thought the price was so good that I would be able to sell it and maybe make a little bit of money off of it. Not price gouging, because I feel like this item is, not going to fetch a whole lot of money, but maybe I'd be able to make a little bit of money on the deal. Because basically, since I traded and I was buying 2 items and I was buying an item on sale, I got a very good deal on the Speedy. So first, I'm going to show you the item that I was able to buy for myself that I plan on keeping. And one thing I've really been wanting lately is to have some sort of crossbody. I don't mind shoulder bags. I like handheld bags if it's something like I'm going out for a weekend and I don't have my kids with me. But I really like for if I'm going somewhere, like let's say a museum, or if I'm going to Atlantic City, having something that's going to be completely, kind of carefree and still look good. So I believe I hadn't seen this bag there before. I was looking at a St. Cloud, and he has a St. Cloud there, and the exterior is very, very nice, and it's very pretty. I love the look and the silhouette of a St. Cloud, but the inside pocket is sticky, as many of these vintage bags get. The interior breaks down over time and it gets sticky. And if the price would have been better, I may have considered buying it and not using the interior pocket. But my husband, who I've trained to have an eagle eye, saw this bag on a mannequin, and it is a Jeunefille GM. And from the looks of it, it is from 1986. So this would make this my oldest bag in my collection. And Jeunefille, if you are familiar with French, Jean is French for young, and fille is French for girl. So this was actually, in my research on it, kind of modeled after like a little girl's school bag. Okay, kids these days, modern kids, they're wearing backpacks, and even some of them have wheels. But, if you think back to what it looked like, what kind of bags school children used to carry, this would have typically been what it looked like. So it is a crossbody. The setup where I am right now in my spare room living area is kind of strange. I'll stand up and show you. It kind of sits right there on my hip. I, of course, like everyone else in America that's into Louis Vuitton, have really had my eye on the Pochette Métis. And the price point is just not anywhere in my range at all at this moment. But it was something that I thought maybe in the future I could get pre-loved at some point. But, you know, as long as this holds up, I really don't feel like I need the Pochette Métis because it's the same sort of style. And honestly, even though this is an older bag, part of what I'm thinking, older bag is going to mean more quality in this situation. If you follow Louis Vuitton, you've heard many of the issues that they've been having with the Pochette Métis as far as the glazing, failing, things cracking, even on a brand new bag. This bag is almost in perfect condition. It has a really nice patina going. And it does have a few minor water spots, but nothing very noticeable considering this age. This bag is 2 years younger than me. So I think I show more wear than the bag. Now there's one area of concern, and I didn't notice it until after I bought it, and I don't know if it would have stopped me from buying it, or maybe I would have tried to negotiate a little more. But I noticed that there is like a hard spot in the canvas. You can sort of feel where it changes when you run your hands over it. And there is the beginning of a crack there. Just the beginning of a crack. Just kind of on the surface. So I went on my Louis Vuitton group, the Louis Vuitton Addicted Buy Sell Chat. If you're on Facebook and you like Louis Vuitton, check it out. They're amazing over there. And somebody suggested just to get some leather conditioner and try to moisturize it a little bit. Which I think in this case I will try, but I'm very hesitant because I am not one that likes the idea of treating the leather, because I've heard of people like having horror stories and just destroying their bag, and I would be so devastated. And I'll explain a little more when I show you what else I picked up, the price and what I spent. I almost feel like it's worth the risk in this case. I mean, the good thing about this is if I did ever have to replace the strap, I would probably just have to purchase the strap. I wouldn't have to send anything away. But I didn't inquire as to whether or not this was even still in production. And honestly, I feel like when you have a vintage bag, yeah, sure, you could replace something on it, but I really do like that look of this honey gold patina. I think it's really gorgeous. So let me show you some features of this bag before I show you the other thing that I bought that I intend on selling. So what I liked about this, in opposition to the St. Cloud, was the St. Cloud just has one open compartment with the pocket. And like I said, the one I was looking at the store was a sticky pocket, so I wasn't even going to be able to use that at all. So it has a slip pocket here. And you can see the interior is kind of peeling away a little bit, but it's not sticky at all. So when I was using this, I did not use it today because it is raining. I am actually using my Longchamp La Pelage tote. That kind of just slid my phone right back there. That way I could just pull it out. It was easy access. And then there is the zippered compartment with that brown interior we are familiar with vintage bags. Do any modern bags still have this interior? I'm not sure. The interior pocket does have a little more of that rubbing, but as I said, it is not sticky. So I am going to be doing some research to how to prevent the stickiness, you know, besides just making sure it is in a dry, not warm place. So the inside of this is pretty generous. Now, because of the shape of it, I did have to sort of take some additional extra crap out of my bag, which really isn't a problem. I didn't have to take out anything that was too important. Now, this is a functioning flap. It is a regular buckle. which I know for some people you might feel like, oh, it slows me down. What I had in here was my wallet. It's not something I reach for constantly, so it's okay if it's in this compartment. And there it is. So I'm really, really liking this a lot. I think I am going to get a lot of use out of it. And in addition to selling the bag that I just told you guys I bought this weekend with this bag, I actually decided I was going to sell my very first Louis Vuitton bag that I bought off Poshmark, my looping GM. Just because, you know, when I used to collect Coach, there were so many things that I bought that in hindsight I realized I bought just to buy. I bought just to have it and just to have a big collection. And I really don't necessarily want to do that. And in this case, I want to have pieces that I'm really going to use and enjoy for a long time. And I really do like the looping. I think it's really got a really cool silhouette. But as for right now, and I could change my mind again, I just feel like I would really want to replace the strap. The strap replacement is $100. The thing about the strap is it might twist again, and then would I want to get it replaced again? I don't know. I have it on listed on my Poshmark closet right now. I might take it off. I have no idea. I keep going back and forth about it. So anyway, yes, this is the Jeunefille GM, and it is from 1986. So I thought that was an awesome buy. Now, to get down to the nitty-gritty, I bought my next item, as I said, with the intention to sell because of pairing it with that and trading it with some other stuff. I got a fantastic deal. So, as I said, got the Jeunefille, and I also picked up a Speedy 30. Now, this Speedy 30 is not in great condition. It could definitely use some TLC from someone who is knowledgeable on how to clean these things. I'm not. As I said, I'm a little scared to condition this one, so I would be scared to clean this one. I already own a Speedy 30, so at the end of this video, I'm actually going to compare this vintage Speedy 30 with a more modern Speedy 30. But here it is. The handles, this person must have really went crazy on the lotion because it is black. This Speedy is from 1992. And you can see, like I said, the leather is a little rough. But everything is intact. A lot of times the zipper pull or the little tabs on the side will be ripped off. These are not. These are securely on there. There was no lock. The piping is all good. There is some wear on the corners, but like minor wear. And on the inside, sorry, I forgot. The inside is okay considering its age. There's some bags I've seen that are much younger and much more terrible shape. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it if you can get the light in there. There are just a few spots. There was like some dust and stuff that I had to clean out, but really nothing major. So I was able to get this and the Jeunefille. After I traded in 2 items, I traded in a pair of Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses that I really liked the way they look, but I wasn't gravitating towards them at all. I wasn't using them at all. I kind of was just using every other pair of glasses except those. And a Versace bag. So, the price he gave me on the Jeunefille was $2.99, and the price that he gave me on this Speedy was $2.59, and it was 10% off. So with my trade, the 2 bags, and the discount he gave me because he's amazing and I am a return customer, I got both of these for $260. So what I'm kind of hoping is that I will be able to sell this enough to someone who's really going to want to love it and clean it and take care of it, and maybe have it be their very first Speedy or their very first Louis bag, and kind of pay for my Jeunefille. That would be my goal. So like I said, it's really, the leather is in great condition. There is a little bit of wear on the corners, but I feel like with some care, you could even take it to a cobbler and kind of just have the cobbler seal that up for you, that this bag could really have a lot of life left in it. So, I can't keep this for myself because I own a Speedy, and I don't know that I've ever shown my Speedy on camera before. I don't think I have. And this Speedy has been gently used by me because, as I said in another video, as much as I love the top handle bags, and the Speedy to me is absolutely gorgeous. With my 2 little kids, it's very difficult for all the stuff I have to carry. So I am taking it upon myself to really consciously use this more. I picked this up at the very end of 2014 when they had just started to make a few changes on it. So here is my Speedy, and I want to compare it to a vintage Speedy because I thought that may be something people were interested in. So I Googled some differences that I thought were interesting. So here is my modern Speedy. One of the things you may know is that the chaps on a modern Speedy are puffy, okay? The chaps that are on this vintage Speedy are flat. They're not puffy. Something else that I thought was interesting. On a vintage Speedy, the stitching starts under this rivet. On a modern Speedy, the stitching goes above the rivet. And from what I'm understanding, that redesign was because if you ever look at vintage Speedies, and I was looking at a different vintage Speedy when I was in the consignment shop, you will see a lot of tearing right here. So by having the stitching up here, it reinforces it a little bit. Okay. So even though my Speedy was made in the U.S., it says Louis Vuitton Paris. The vintage one says Louis Vuitton. I don't even know if you can see it. It's almost rubbed off. Louis Vuitton Paris, made in the USA. Now, from what Ray was telling me, he believes that this was a repaired tab. Another difference that I've noticed, I mean, look at the tab size. This vintage Speedy has a very, very thin tab, where the modern Speedies have a thicker tab. And I think that has a lot to do with, if you're looking at the vintage Speedies, a lot of times this is ripped off. So this, you have a little more area to pull. And also, the other thing I noticed, if you look at the underside of a vintage Speedy, it is the suede material, and the underside of the zipper pull on my modern Speedy is all leather. As I said, this one does not have lock. I have my lock. On the interior, now I believe the newest model of Speedies, from what I understand, has a zipper compartment. As I said, I bought mine at the end of 2014, so mine does not have the zipper compartment. It just has the regular, like, slip pocket compartment right here. Other than that, it's pretty much identical. You got the D-ring. You have the underside of where the chaps are. And let me see. When you lift up the pocket, that is going to be where you're going to find your date code. So my date code on my modern one is SD4114. So this would mean the 41st week of 2014. Now the vintage Speedy, it's got the same similar kind of pocket. Now the interior of this has like a very, very soft, I guess from use, feeling to it. More heavy patina in there. The date code on this guy is FM0972. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, 0972. Which I believe in the 90s, the 07 would refer to the 7th month of 1992. The other thing that was kind of noticeable about this bag was it did have a little bit of wear right there, probably from the zipper hitting it. But as I said, I do think this guy is going to be really great in someone's collection, and I hope I don't hold on to it for too long. I hope I'm able to pass it on to someone else who's going to love it. So if you're interested in this or the looping bag that, who knows, I might take off again because I'm crazy, my closet on Poshmark is at Sailor Moon, SAALORMUN. Just pretty. I love it. It's such a beautiful classic style. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you got to learn a little something. I know I did when I was doing the research about these Speedies. Have a good night. Bye.